Hello, I'm Brian Vermeer. Some years ago, I went to a St. Patrick's Day parade and was in a crowd of people watching the parade, and there were all kinds of floats going by and all kinds of bands and just people with, wearing outfits and, all the kind of typical stuff you see in a parade. But about halfway through the parade, in between a couple of the floats, there was a man wearing green ecclesiastical robes, walking down the middle of the street in the parade, carrying a staff that had a snakeskin on it, hanging, from the top of the staff. And I could hear all the people around me who had been having fun watching, the whole rest of the parade, suddenly kind of turn and look at each other and say, "Who's that?" And I just wanted to scream out, "That, people, is St. Patrick. That is the reason that we are having the holiday." Which just proves to me that a lot of Americans, not just on St. Patrick's Day, but on some other holidays as well, they like to celebrate, but they don't really know what it is they're celebrating. So I'd just like to take a few minutes here to talk about who St. Patrick was and why we have a holiday for him. So let's start this with 3 questions about St. Patrick's Day. Let's see if you can answer these 3 questions. First of all, where was St. Patrick from? Secondly, what does the 4-leaf clover have to do with St. Patrick's Day? And thirdly is a true or false question. Did St. Patrick drive, or St. Patrick is famous for driving all of the snakes out of Ireland? So let's take a look at this first question. Who was St. Patrick and where was he from? If you answered he was from England, then you are correct. St. Patrick was a young man living in England during the Dark Ages, and one day his village was raided by a group of Irish pirates. They captured him and took him to Ireland and sold him as a slave. Now, one day later, while he was working as a slave, he was actually working as a shepherd, he heard a voice which he claimed later was the voice of God, telling him that if he would walk down to the coast, he would find some men who were working on a ship, and he should ask them if they would take him back to England in their ship. So he left his sheep, he went down to the coast, he saw some men working on a ship, he asked them if they would take him back to England, and they said yes. And that's how Patrick escaped slavery. And then while living in England later on, after he had studied some, he felt a urging for the people of Ireland, since they were pagans. And he felt that his calling in life then was to become a missionary to Ireland and preach the gospel of Jesus to the Irish people. So he went back to Ireland and worked as a missionary, and it's because of the work of St. Patrick that the Christian church grew in the nation of Ireland. So that's why the Irish people celebrate St. Patrick, because he is the one who brought Christianity to the Irish, although he was not Irish himself. Second question was, what does the 4-leaf clover have to do with St. Patrick's Day? I see every year on St. Patrick's Day decorations, alongside leprechauns and other things, I see 4-leaf clovers. Well, what did they have to do with St. Patrick's Day? The correct answer is absolutely nothing. 4-leaf clovers have nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day. I think the confusion comes because one of the object lessons that St. Patrick used to help teach the Irish, he used the shamrock, which is a large-leafed 3-leaf clover that grew in Ireland. And he would use the shamrock to help teach the Irish about the concept of the Trinity. The 3 leaves on the one plant, he said, represent the 3 manifestations of the one God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So somewhere along the line, you still do see a lot of shamrocks on St. Patrick's Day decorations, but somewhere along the line, I guess having to do with maybe the phrase, the luck of the Irish or something, and with four-leaf clovers being considered lucky, somewhere along the line, someone confused a shamrock for a four-leaf clover, and every so often you will see four-leaf clovers on St. Patrick's Day decorations, although they really have absolutely nothing to do with Patrick himself or the holiday. So now the third question, did St. Patrick drive all the snakes out of Ireland? No, he didn't. The truth is, there never were any snakes in Ireland, and there still are not any wild snakes in Ireland. If you want to see a snake in Ireland, you have to go to a zoo. The phrase or the legend behind this is probably due to the fact that since Patrick brought Christianity to the Irish, that he drove the devil out of Ireland. And the devil is often depicted as a snake or a serpent. So St. Patrick driving the snakes out of Ireland is probably just an allegory for Patrick bringing Christianity to the Irish. So that's where that story comes from. Now, a lot of people ask me, am I going to wear green on St. Patrick's Day? And the answer is I usually don't. And people ask, why do I not, celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Well, St. Patrick's Day is not my holiday. I am neither Irish nor Roman Catholic. I do not recognize patron saints. The reason St. Patrick's Day is celebrated is because Patrick is the patron saint of Ireland. And in Roman Catholic belief, which is what most Irish people are, a patron saint is kind of like a saint that watches over you. So it's the particular saint that you would pray to for any problem that you have. I personally do not believe in praying to saints. I pray to God directly myself. So St. Patrick's Day is not really my holiday since I'm neither Irish nor Roman Catholic. I don't observe saints' days like that. The reason it's March 17th is because, like most saints' feast days, it is most likely the day that Patrick died. It's either that or the day he was born, but most likely it was the day that he died. Now, why did it become a big holiday in America, and why do so many Americans, even of non-Irish descent, celebrate it? Well, most of that has to do with the potato famine in Ireland in the late 19th century, which New York and then spreading over the rest of the country. There's still a very large Irish population in New York. There's probably more Irish in New York than there are in Ireland. But when they came over, they brought their customs, their holidays with them, and St. Patrick's Day was one of those. So after all these Irish came to America, celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And of course, Americans, never being one to miss out on a good party, simply invited themselves along with the celebration, and that's why a lot of days simply view St. Patrick's Day as another day to party and get drunk, even though they have absolutely no idea what it is they're celebrating or who it is. St. Patrick's Day, like St. Valentine's Day, like Christmas, and like Easter, is actually a religious holiday that has been taken over by non-religious people to the point that there's a whole lot of people today who don't understand the significance of the holiday. So I hope that by watching this video, you've learned a little bit about who Patrick was. You can read the Confession of St. Patrick. It's actually kind of a short autobiography that he wrote about himself, and you can find it in many places on the internet. So look it up and read his life story for yourself and find out more about who Patrick actually was. And then you can get a greater appreciation for why we celebrate the day. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos, like and subscribe, and I'll see you with the regular lesson coming up in a couple of days. Thank you.